Welcome to Aging in Reverse Naturally movement, and you are becoming a part of it. Skin Aging Reset is just the beginning. So, I know you're here because you're looking for ways of keeping your skin looking healthier, and staying overall, in general, the whole body. You want to match the energy in your body to your face. Sometimes there is a mismatch, and that's why I'm here. Because if you are healthy, if you eat healthy, if you get enough oxygen, enough exercise, there should be no reason your skin looks older than you are, than you look. So we will talk about different things. Maybe that will be a lot of information for you, so digest that slowly. But once you learn once you hear what I have to teach, it might open your mind to possibilities that you are going to actually age in the reverse. So, where are we going to begin? So, are you turning on the news, your social media feeds, or a computer or the phone, and immediately you're bombarded with beauty gadgets, beauty miracle creams and lotions and potions, and then there is a doctor who says nothing you can do about aging. You have to do the fillers or nip and tuck or whatever. You just can't do it yourself. That's aging. It's in your genes. Yeah, aren't we frightened by it? Yes, exactly. The thing is, we estheticians, skincare professionals, we don't have money to tell you the different story. So that's why you hear just that. So today you are going to hear from me, and I am very passionate about what I do, and I hope to infuse some of the love for your body, your skin, and life in general by me teaching you those things that are so critical for us to know. And we do know them, but do we practice them? Not really, because it's a lot and there is no structure, there is no rhythm, and we just try to do the right thing and we hope for the best. But there is a better way, and I'm going to teach you that because I have developed a system that I follow myself, and all of my clients in my facial room are benefiting from it. So you will too. So I am Yolanda Russo, holistic skincare expert and wellness advocate. So not only that I will teach you a lot about your skin, but about your body, because your skin, your face, is not separate from the rest of your body. Everything is connected. And what you see here, it's zones of the face that are corresponding to the rest of the body. So certain organs. So while I'm showing this is liver and this is tiredness. So if you're tired, if you're worried all the time and not sleeping enough, it will show you as dark circles. If you're stressed all the time and you're not eating very healthy, it will show you here. It will show you the lines. It will show you decrease in collagen. This line, this is the pattern from that you kind of inherited from your parents. It's not in your genes. It's in the mimicking what they did. Most likely it's your father. When he was angry, he was doing this. And that's exactly what that line is. And you're now mimicking that because you are programmed to do what they did. So it's not the genes, it's your program. So we're going to talk about this. So the cheeks are usually related directly to the food that you just ate a day, like last night, let's say 12 hours ago. If you are breaking out on the cheek, or you see redness or irritation, this is your stomach right there on your cheek. And this is your hormones, jawline and the chin, and sometimes then it's your hormones. and you're not doomed to that either. If your hormones are off, there is a reason for it. If you're after 50, you're kind of menopausal already, you shouldn't have hormonal problems unless you put too much sugar in your body. So that's the thing. So if you want to talk about the skin zones, we will talk maybe in the second video, but in this video, it's general. I'm going to teach you things, okay? I need you to open your mind to possibilities because right now you might be very narrow-minded by the messaging that you're being put into your head. Okay, so let's talk about the genes right now. Most of us hear that genetics is unavoidable. We're aging, nothing we can do about this, so that's the skin. So if you're here because you want to look 20 years younger, you're in the wrong place because we don't do quick fixes here. We don't do miracles. It's all healthy way of living that will be reflected on the face. The face is a mirror to the inside. And your consistency, your work, and I will teach you the whole routine that you will do every day, morning and at night. You are already doing it, so nothing will change. You're just going to increase some time and you're going to put more intention into doing so. Okay, so that and the home care routine is going to give you that control over skin aging. What is skin aging? It's a mirror. Like I said, the face is a mirror. The skin aging is a direct output of what the body is signaling. So if your body is tired, you're gonna look tired no matter what. No matter what creams you're gonna buy and what gadgets you're gonna put on your skin, you're gonna look tired. So even if you look shiny for a minute, that's not gonna work. So I'm here to help you to be consistent with the way you look, to be consistent with the healthy look, the radiant look. And if you want more, you'll just increase the amount of time that you're gonna spend on taking care of your skin. But you don't need to spend money on anything really because you already have the tools, which are your fingers, and you have the simple skincare routine, which is the cleanser, the exfoliant, the serum, and the moisturizer. Those things are essential, and if you don't have them good, if you use the over-the-counter products from CVS, I encourage you to stop doing that because it's nothing wrong about them. It's just they're not effective. They are just not enough to make a difference. So that's why we're going to be talking about skincare later. But right now, just know that good skincare is like going to Whole Foods store and getting yourself foods. So you can go to food store, regular food store. I don't want to give a name because every food store is just a food store, right? But if you go to Whole Foods, you know why you go there because you want something higher end. You want something cleaner. You want something better. The same applies to your skincare. Exactly. Okay. And that doesn't mean you buy skincare from Whole Foods. No. You buy skincare from a professional facility. Professional facility like estheticians or dermatologists or other doctors on the market. You can hear Dr. Thomas Roth, Dr. Gross. Yeah, there are good doctors out there. So, where are we going to go? So you're here because your skin is aging and you want to know what to do. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is, I already talked about genetics, but let's talk about Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a scientist who works with cells, human cells. And when he looks at the cells, and he's still alive, so you can still Google him and see what he talks about because it's very interesting. So, what he talks about is the cell itself. He says each cell in our body has job to do, and that job is shared across all the other cells. So the cells are not living individually. So the stomach cell is not cells, cluster of cells. They're not just doing the stomach digestion and whatever else they need to do. No, they send signal to nervous system, they send signal to your lower digestive, and they are prompting the body to absorb nutrients, so the bloodstream goes and flows the nutrients throughout the body and to your skin. And that's the point. So if you are not feeding yourself healthy, if you don't have enough vitamins in your body, if you don't have enough water in your body, your skin is kind of lost to get anything. So when you feel your skin dry, your hair is dry, yeah, you might be dehydrated. So just don't worry about the creams. You can't out cream dryness. You have to put this in your body. So that's what I mean. So what he talks about is when you look at our body, there is 50 trillion cells in our body, and they are held together tightly by our skin. So the skin is all holding us together. If there was no skin, we would fall apart. And then the muscles will fall out, the bones would not hold it because the muscles are holding the bones. So you see, everything has a job to do. And the thing is, that job is multiple jobs. So for us to think of the face as a separate organ, the face, I'm just going to put some creams and hope for the best, it doesn't work that way. So the face, luckily, it will write a story of your body, of the way you sleep, of the way you feed yourself, the way you breathe, if you do any leisure time, if you laugh, if you are social, it will show on the skin. And this is why take care of your body, take care of yourself, and then your face will follow. But of course, once that's done, once this is taken care of, then I will show you how to quickly, in a matter of hours, get your skin, get those little lines, get the sagging lifted, tightened, and your skin glow. So that is all possible. So that's good. So Dr. Bruce Lipton not only talks about the job of the cells, but he says that we actually, every minute, we lose 4 million cells, and 4 million new cells are being born. So we never lose anything. We just recycle. So what an interesting concept. Look, 1 minute, 4 million. So imagine that. And then when we go to sleep, we self-repair our body. And that's why it's so important that we go to sleep on time. By 10 p.m., we should be in bed. So the night is when the growth hormone is released and we are just purging the toxins, and that's why sometimes we get up, go to the bathroom, and maybe we're thirsty at night. That's all happening at night when we sleep. That's how important it is to eat healthy, to feed your body healthy, to master the stress management. And this was my problem when I was a little younger. Okay, not that I'm young right now. So I said a little younger than now. I suffered from horrible migraines, and those migraines were kind of taking my life away from me. So I lost maybe 5 years out of my life because I was like really sick. I was bedridden by the end, and I just didn't want to be here. I wanted to figure out what is happening, and my doctors were not interested in figuring out why this is happening. They were just giving me pain medications. and it wasn't solving any problem. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So after a while, after just being so depressed over this, I decided to take the matter in my own hands and then go and study biology, study the human biology and anatomy, and see what is the relationship. Why are we in pain here and in pain there? Why is this making us so weak? And why is it aging us? All that I needed to find out. So on the way to there, I came across alternative doctors. One of them was Bruce Lipton. Bruce Lipton is a epigenetic scientist, so he talks about genetics, but he talks from a different angle. He says, you're not doomed. We are not doomed. Genetics have very little to do how we look, how we behave, and how we age. We look on the surface, how we are inside. So if we get sick, it's not the genes. Something else is happening. So guess what? I discovered that I was causing my own migraines by being a perfectionist. So I was always stressed. I was always doing things. I was always dusting. I was always scrubbing the floor and making holes in the floor. It was crazy. But that's how I was trying to control the world, control everything. Maybe because I didn't have control over my life. That's true. So this is always the truth. And this is what happened. Once I figured out that it was the stress, I knew that I have to control it. Control is the wrong word. I need to manage my stress. I need to learn how to manage it. And I have to stop being a perfectionist because the world is not perfect. Why would I expect the dust to be gone forever? It's always going to be there. So that's how I learned, and that's how I discovered the relationship with our body, the environment, our lifestyle, and aging. And as he says, less than 20% of aging is heredity, and then 80% or more is just our being. So we are going to try to be the best version of ourselves from now on. And I'm going to show you what I have learned through this learning process that I went through, and now I'm implementing, and now I'm going to share with you. That will make your life easier. It will be less to remember and more to focus on living. So now that you know that genetics are not responsible for our aging, so you're saying, so how come my mom looks like me or I look like my mom? Well, I already mentioned that earlier. You do look like this because you were growing up watching her. You were growing up her cutting the veggies, looking down, the neck is down, squished up. You were watching her posture. You were watching her how she did. You were watching her how she was rubbing her head. You were watching all that. So did I mess myself up? Okay. So you were watching that and you were mimicking that. So you developed habits. Those habits you learned, you can learn them. But you didn't know that. You thought it's just genetics. That's where we are winning, because once I share this with you, once you learn that, what I just told you, you can't learn it. That means you can't blame genes for the double chin. You can't blame genes for your dark circles or sallow kind of look on the face. You just can't do that. This is something that you might be able to manage really quickly if you learn the process, but if you decide not to, still don't blame genes on it. It's just what it is. That's how you are, and you like your mom, you like your aunt, and you just look like them. So let's take this to the next level. I'm going to be now, so now you understand that. Now I'm going to be showing you what I have learned to help me to navigate my life to be healthier, healthier inside and in my body and in my mind. And that all boils down to 4 letters. I'm going to try to show you